I'm Ben.
I'm Ron.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jason. And this is Hometown Has-Beens. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hometown Has-Beens, episode 48. So if you look at the calendar, we have been podcasting a full year at this point, which is a big deal, and none of these guys in here seem to be excited about it. But 90% of podcasts do not make it a year.
Yeah.
Where did you get that statistic from?
Google.
You know, you can't always believe all the things that you read on the internet.
You're right, but I believe this. So we're in the top. Well, I don't guess that puts us in the top 10%. Actually, we are technically in the top 5%. Yeah, that is fact checked. Regardless, we don't really have a big 1 year celebration right now because it's the end of the year. This summer's going to be exciting though, maybe. Anyways, the whole gang's here.
For the first time in how long? How long has it been since all of it? Because like that one episode I came in with like 2 minutes and Chris was blowing it up. So that's not technically all together.
That's true.
I just become a terrorist?
Yeah, a toilet terrorist.
So, yeah, there's that. We were going to record a different day, and then Chris decided to go to the Braves game instead.
I'm sorry.
How was that?
Yeah. It was fun. It was really fun.
Tell us about it.
Well, the Braves, we got to see some extra baseball. Went to extra innings.
Free baseball.
And Marcell Ozuna hit a little
Ozuna
single
from
to win the
Braves.
game.
Yeah.
That was great, man. The kid was into it. It was fun.
He hit that ball like he hit his wife.
I have a hard time rooting for him now.
I
to be
do
honest
too,
with
man.
You, man.
You
just
know,
like
I do too, for real.
This is our first year without having like at least a partial season plan. Like, well, not the first year, it's like ever, but like we had like 3 seasons in a row, and then we didn't do it this year. But like last year, the transformation that happened during the season, like we were there legit the first series of the year. Dude is like getting booed out of the stadium, like hardcore. Like they hated
that's
him,
true.
and they hated him for like half the season. And then all of a sudden one day they're like, man, this guy has like 30 home runs.
Yeah.
And then he would get like standing ovations.
Yeah.
So that just proves, man, like,
Yeah.
dude, if you're good at sports, you can get away with a lot of things.
I can beat it. Even past like the what about Kobe Bryant?
But was that ever
That
proven?
was allegations.
what?
Maybe. I mean, he was not convicted.
Correct.
Given. But also death will really bring out people saying good things about you.
I don't know. OJ, did anybody say anything good about him when he died?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, so there's some things you
Michael
can't.
Jackson?
I've told y'all this before, and
Michael
and,
Jackson.
and talking about OJ, I saw that. I've told y'all. I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast or not, but like the first post I saw when he died, like on Twitter, was somebody was like, "Oh, OJ, he's looking up at us now."
Oh, yeah.
That's not good.
Chris, you mean to
I
tell
didn't
me?
post it. Okay? I just read it.
So,
Damn.
Chris, nothing else happened at the game that you want to share?
Nothing notable.
Nice.
All right, then.
Did you
I
go?
will say-
Was it just you and Watson, or
Just me and Watson. And Truist Park is a very clean
Wait,
place.
I thought your
It's a
dad
cool
went.
place.
Do what?
I thought your dad went.
No, just me and Waddy.
Nice.
Me and Watson.
so?
Waddy? Don't
Waddy?
call him Waddy.
So while let's just say by chance you were indisposed, what did he do?
We sat by.
That's a good point.
Fortunately, we sat by some really nice people.
Oh my God, dude! You did not leave your kid.
I didn't say that.
And when he says indisposed, this has nothing to do with not being sober.
Yeah, for sure.
This is all IBS
I drove home
related.
at like 11 o'clock last night.
This is all
I'm
IBS related.
Yeah.
But Chris doesn't want to get into it.
and I think we talk too much about that anyway. So I think it's okay not getting into it. I was just really curious what Watson was
That's
doing.
a
If he
good
was
point.
like,
Great people. I really want to say a big thank you to Martha and Glenn. Met last night at the
You
Braves.
know
game.
their names?
Living
He's
Dunwoody.
leaving his kid with him. He better at least know their names.
Very good people.
So he can tell
Did
the
you-
police
did you-
Martha and Glenn took him.
did you give him like a podcast sticker or anything? Like let him know.
No, but I got their phone number. Got Glenn's phone number.
For
And so-
what? In
I don't
case
know,
you need a
we
babysitter?
What?
Yeah, just struck up good talk.
How old is Glenn?
Where are these people?
Like grandparent age.
Yeah, I knew
Where
it.
are these people
Dude, every
from?
now and then,
Are they
though,
season
man.
ticket holders?
No, I don't think so.
So every now and then, though, that happens. Like, you find somebody that I played golf with a dude one time, and like the time we left, I don't even remember his name now, so it wasn't that. But like,
Just hit it off.
dude. I was like, I'll pray for your wife. She was having surgery the next week. Like we were boys. Like he was like 80.
Yeah.
He's
awesome.
I played golf another time with a dude. The same thing. We ended up being like best buds.
Well,
Golf
we
is such a
up
good
here,
time to do
and
that.
this guy drank a whole bottle of scotch and shot a 73.
well, I was,
And he was older than that, so he shot under his age and drank a whole bottle of scotch.
That's
What's
impressive.
his name? John Daly?
Got to be Ken.
dude.
Dude, it was crazy.
I was playing golf with a dude. I don't know what that is.
We should preface we talk all day before we come here
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was-
Wait, why does that matter?
because it can be hard to
We
put
get
words
preface.
together once you get
Oh,
here.
that's true.
I played golf with this guy from like I don't remember where he's from. He wasn't from the United States, and so one of the greens were like on the road. Okay, and a funeral procession came by, so I took my hat off. Quit playing for a second.
Wait,
One of the greens was near the road.
and
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
And you stop for a funeral procession,
Yeah,
playing golf.
yeah. Well,
He actually
That's
saluted.
So,
it was me and this.
so a rebel flag comes
No,
by.
it was me and this other guy, and then it was a threesome. Like me, this other guy, and then the guy that wasn't from here, right? So me and the other guy from here, we took our hats off and whatever. Funeral procession came by. So the foreign guy, was like, "Man, I really like how y'all respect funerals and things
Dead
like that."
people.
Yeah. And the guy that was playing with me goes, I figured it's the least I could do since it's my wife.
It was a joke. That was a good one.
That's awesome. That's
good.
awesome.
Hey,
Dude, I had y'all locked in.
I-
at that
that was
story.
great.
I was playing up here one time, and it was just years ago, and I met these two dudes on like 18, and I got to talking to them. I was like, "Yeah, I play here all the time." I was like a member there, but it was like not when it was nice. So it was like $300 a month for everybody in your family to play as much as possible. It was not at
Chimney
right here.
Oaks now.
But yeah, and they're like, "Oh, we'll come back and play with you next weekend." So it was just like this old guy, and I didn't even know like anything about him at this time. But it was like this older guy and then like a middle-aged guy. And when they come back, I find out that one's a judge and one's an attorney.
Let's go.
Dang, dude.
And we played old one there, and then we played number 2, and number 2 is that par 3, down the hill. It's not number 2 now, I guess, but anyways, so we get on playing it, and we start going up across that bridge, and I'm going just wide open, and I'm looking in that creek, and there's like 3 or 4 golf balls down there, and I look up, and right when I look up, they're stopped waiting on somebody hitting, and I full speed without braking just plow into them, and that old man comes falling out of that golf cart, holding his back and his neck.
and this attorney sued him.
And dude,
no.
and I swear to you when I say this, I'm not making this up. These dudes don't say a word to me the rest of that round of golf. Leave after 9 holes, and I never talked to them again. They
Oh
they
my
didn't say
goodness.
another word to me.
Oh,
it
how
was,
awkward.
it was
I thought you'd been
awful.
served, dude.
Dude, I mean that's like the guy gave me his business card. The attorney did, and I'm like, God bless. Like
Dude, what luck.
I don't like the random pairing at the golf
I hate
course.
it.
Yeah.
Really?
Dude,
No,
I've
I'm
had
not a
some.
fan.
I've had some doozies, man.
It
Like,
is one of those things that's great or terrible.
Yeah, like well, there's
Yeah.
all the memes you see online of like the guy that comes like pulls up with like iron covers, and it's like imagine getting paired with this guy, like cargo shorts and iron covers.
So
No offense, Chris.
I got that was pretty good.
Not about the iron covers. Chris is a real golfer.
Yeah.
He just
Cargo shorts.
But my bag, if you looked at my bag, you would think I'd
Whoa,
probably never played golf.
whoa. Who was the first person you saw with the retro bag? Who was the first person you saw with the retro bag?
Was it Ryan?
it was Ryan Griffin.
It was definitely me.
Ryan,
Let's
because
go.
yours is like that old brown one, right?
It used to be, yeah.
And then Chris found one in my dad's basement.
Yeah.
That's
You
from like
let me have,
1973.
And I
Yeah.
love that thing.
Now I got a cart bag because
I'm still trying to go with that. But I think that's
Homeboy
a
ain't
business
walking.
opportunity. If we made those bags and sold them, I
Yeah.
still think that's a
Those
business
old school ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's a
it is.
business opportunity
It's
for us to
retro.
Think we
make
could
it-
get some hometown has-beens branded ones.
I think
Yeah,
we can
for
get the
sure.
golf.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a hat like Jason's.
Well, you have to
And
pay for
we
one.
do the green for our merch. We can make them like Augusta green.
Oh,
There you go.
We just couldn't like.
with that hat, Augusta Green would look with a little yellow something.
Next
on
year
the
we
side.
need to have some Masters merch.
Yeah.
Like around the
Masters.
Masters.
You guys are
Let's
just
go.
a whole list of things for me to do.
You like
Dude,
that?
I was playing in I have so many getting paired with rando stories, but
That's good. I like these.
there's people like I can't remember some kids I taught last semester. So the fact that I can remember this woman's name shows you the impact she made on my life.
Oh, you got paired with like a girl?
A man and woman, husband and wife, elderly in Orlando one time. Her name was Linda. And
Of course it was.
And Linda had the squeakiest shoes you've ever seen.
Wow.
Did she talk about him a lot?
And Linda she played from the same team as her husband, which was the Whites. Both of them were too old to play from the Whites, to be honest. Like he should have been playing from like the Golds or whatever. Dude, she would walk out there, and I'm not exaggerating at all. She would stand over the ball before she swung for like a solid 3 minutes.
Oh gosh.
And she would just stand there. And then she would she would top it and hit like 50,
Oh
50
no.
feet.
She
That's
do the
the
same
worst.
thing again.
And it took us. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Every shot she would take like a couple minutes before she'd swing.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Dude, you don't realize, because like I feel like I'm not a good, well, I know I'm not a good golfer, right?
You're good.
No, but that's what I was about to say. You realize how poor most people are when you get those random pairings.
Dude, I played with a guy in Destin one time. We're on back nine, and it comes a thunderstorm, and then a streak of lightning goes across the sky. And this guy says, "You know, I've been struck by lightning playing golf 3 times." What? I think I need to go indoors. I said, "I think I need to get away from you, brother."
Yeah, good Lord.
So I had a random pairing at
We're just going to talk about golf the whole time. I'm going to sit here.
Jason's like, "I played golf once."
Yeah, I hate
I was there at Dacoa Hills. I don't know the hills of Dacoa. What's the name of that course?
It's just the muni over there, the municipal course in Tacoma.
Yeah,
The-
Dacoa.
The one
right
over
above
there.
the college on the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And I was in college, and I got paired with these 3 old guys. We were walking, okay? And there's one really big hill you walk up on like number 7, I guess. And he goes, he says, "You know what we call this hill?" I said, "What?" He said, "The Widowmaker." And he said, "There used to be 4 of us."
That's a solid
And
joke.
he said, "True story."
Oh, shoot,
man.
yeah. That's
True
solid.
story.
Dude, me and Chris,
I'm going to change the topic.
can I tell one more?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. We won't talk
This
about
is
golf.
gold, man.
This is
Dude,
not for me. I hate it.
I have so many golf stories.
I'm not listening to this
Dude,
podcast.
you went with Jason went with us on a golf trip.
Almost
once.
hit an eagle.
Yeah,
I was like an inch
Wait,
away
like hit
from
like
like
a bird?
the
No.
bird.
I know. I was an inch away from the cup.
That's
dude.
a cool
Yeah,
story.
he did. I remember the
Dude.
hole. Like
Yeah.
it was.
He's athletic.
playing
If he
those-
wanted to play, he could play.
I just don't want to. But you're talking about the Braves game.
Hold on.
Ben
Let me-
brought up something the other day.
I want to say one.
The first game at Truist Park we went to. Tell them about it, Ben.
I want to hear what Chris has to say first.
I just want to say, you were talking about Linda. She made an impression on you,
she did.
just like you did on those people that you hit with that cart. I just want to say, you think I want to talk directly to the audience right now.
Oh, Lord.
You feel like you're not big enough to make an impact? You should spend the night with a mosquito.
That did not land.
I thought you were
You
going to
should
say.
just get a golf cart.
I thought he was going
Yeah.
like Dr. Phil over there.
I thought you were going to go, if you don't feel like you're big enough to make an impact, just hit somebody with a golf
Yeah,
cart.
that's what I thought he was
I
gonna
thought
say.
you were going with that. So,
So,
Think
so we
about
went to opening day at
Okay.
Truist, like the first game there ever.
Oh, is this the
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I don't know what you're. Oh, you talking about the guy?
Yeah. Because
I have
it's-
a lot of stories at Truist Park too. Like this could be just like a Ben tells his life story.
I like
podcast.
these. These are good.
No, Jason and I split season tickets the first year at Truist
Yes.
Park,
Oh,
okay.
and it was like how much did we pay? Like $300 each. Like we didn't have good
Wow.
seats, but
we
it
did-
was like
it was
the whole
cheap.
season, like not like a partial season play.
where were your seats?
It was upper deck behind home plate, so
Still.
it wasn't.
Okay.
But-
Yeah,
but it was-
dude.
dude,
That's
this-
where I go
So
now.
I'll never forget, and I'll tell the
Yeah.
story Jason wants me to in a minute. But I'll never forget that season. Like I would go on like a random Tuesday night, and there'd be nobody there because they sucked back then.
Yes.
And I would stay for like 3 innings in my seats, and then I'd move down. And I got a relationship with this lady, this usher, because the first time I ever did it, I went down there. And I'm going, and she comes and gets me. She's like, "Sir, you can't sit here." And she pulls me up to the top, and she's like, "You see all these people?" And points to all the people down in the lower section. She said, "They paid good money to sit in these seats." I said, "Ma'am, I'm a season ticket holder." And she said, "Oh, okay. Well, you just always come back anytime you want to." And I don't remember her name, but I went to that lady every game I went to that year. I'd go to her in the third inning, and she'd be like, "There's 2 right down there," and I would go sit.
They
and like,
take care of the season ticket holders.
yeah, but like, little did she know my season tickets were in like the highest seat in the stadium.
Nosebleeds.
And
But that first game too, we went like down.
we got better. Well, I think we bought seats that game.
We did. We upgraded that game. But I'm talking about. They told us. What is it? The cores area that's like level with the field.
Yeah, the below the chop.
Yeah. Like where there's a fence that you can see through, and Nick Markakis is right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
but they told us we couldn't go down there, so we just turned over here and got on the elevator and went down there anyway. We were the only ones down there just walking around.
yeah,
Dude, like everyone thinks everything is like super. No one is watching.
If you took this pass and walked around, you could.
I will say
places.
your point is very valid. Most of the time, if you just act like you belong,
Yeah.
I will say
works.
this. That time, that didn't work.
It did.
We were down there for like 30 seconds, and we got kicked out.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Because it was rented out.
But that's refreshing to me. But like, Rylan went to
It
Brock.
was also the first day.
Yeah,
alert.
Rylan went to Brock Bowers football camp, and you had to pay extra to be on the track around the football field. I ain't doing that.
Like a parent
Yeah, I was like, I ain't doing that.
to be in his proximity.
Yeah, and they put wristbands on all the parents, right?
What percentage of parents were paying that?
Oh, dude, there was so many wristbands.
Really?
Like they had a bunch of extra. Oh, it's 100%. Like Brock Bowers had no idea what was going on at that camp, and that's okay. Like I don't care. Rylan had a good time. It wasn't for yeah. So, but I told my wife, I'm like, yeah, I'm not sitting in the bleachers. I'm gonna stand. She's like, yeah, we don't have a thing. I'm like, Allison, no one's watching.
Nobody's checking for those.
No, and if they come up to me, no one wants confrontation.
Right. That's the thing.
So I stood down there the entire time. And they even made an announcement, if you don't have a wristband, please get off the track. She's like, oh, God. I'm like, no, we're not leaving. We're not moving.
That's your point. Like, she wanted to leave. She won't confrontation either.
Right.
Nobody wants to.
And so
go ahead. I'm sorry.
we went to a travel ball tournament, watched my nephew play last weekend. Nah, it took me a hard right. She's like, I don't want to get. I'm like, Allison, no one's watching. I'm not paying $12.
So you just went around?
Yeah, I just went around.
Where did you go to the same town to watch that? Is the Brock Bowers thing? Or
No.
it's close?
No.
Wasn't the Brock Bowers thing in Winder?
It was in Wander.
Oh, so you didn't go watch him in Winder?
No, it was not at Wander.
I thought that they played. I saw your cousin play. That's your nephew, whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
So that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, dude,
But there's a whole
watch
YouTube
him.
channel about. I don't remember the dude's name. I wish I could find it now. There was a guy that like that's all he does. Is just like goes to events without paying and just acts like he belongs, like in the media or whatever. He'll go like ask for credentials. He'll be like, I'm supposed to be on the list for like media credentials. He'll be like, you're not on here. He'll be like, well, I'm supposed to be, and they'll just give them to him. This dude was ringside at like Floyd Mayweather and somebody like like a huge fight a few years ago. Like
tickets are like
but one time
$20,000.
he printed his own
like press company,
and he walked out with them. Walked out with one of the fighters.
So he was in the hall, and so like they come walking down, and then he walks out, and he's literally at the ring, like not ringside seats,
like
dude.
in the
like,
posse.
He's like with their entourage.
Yeah, he's the entourage.
Yeah.
How do you not go to jail?
Because nobody wants to be the guy that comes up
Exactly.
and says,
Hey.
who are you?
Yeah.
Because then it might be somebody important that you don't know. And
Because-
they're like,
Most of the
Oh, I'm an
time,
idiot.
that's not in your primary job description. Like ushers at games, that's their primary job, right? Yeah. But anytime, like these camps and all this
They don't
travel
have a guy
ball crap,
looking for.
they're trying to
people.
make the most money they can make. So they're spread thin already. They're not watching. They just assume people follow the rules. And for the most part,
They do.
they do.
Other than
I don't.
So there's at Truist Park, like there's a parking lot going back to that though, because this is the whole thing Jason wanted me to tell. And
Yes.
I don't want to forget. So, and it's not even that great of a story, but
No,
we're
but it
tell it
relates. But we're
pretty
gonna.
solid.
So at the first game, so I've never been in like a big like tailgate at baseball. Like I tailgate at football. Like
Yeah,
football's like a
me
tailgate
neither.
thing. You get up early, you sit out there all day, you have a good time. Baseball is more like I've always went and watched batting practice and like try to get my kid a ball.
Yeah,
and stuff
get you
like
a
that.
practice
And when
ball.
I was a kid, I'd want to get a ball. And I got a whole nother story about that. But anyways, but it was the first game, so we was like, let's tailgate. So we buy all this stuff, and we get down there, and we even bring a grill, and we like fire up the charcoal grill, and we're like cooking burgers, and the guy comes over. He's like, "Man, no parking lots. There's only one parking lot. I don't know if it's still there." He's like, "But there's only one parking lot at Truist Park that you're allowed to tailgate in. The rest of them are you can't tailgate. We're at Turner Field, like any of them you could.
You could do whatever."
And I was like, "Dude, what if we gave you a burger?" And he's like, "Medium rare." And we cooked that dude a burger
And cooked us a burger?
and cooked us a burger, and we just secretly like passed it to him. And, like it was like we were passing something. So it was like, "Here you go, man," and I slid it to him, and he was like, "Thanks." And he ate the burger. We tailgated and had a good time. And people would like start tailgating, be like, "You can't do that."
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Suck it."
Yeah,
You know
but we're
what?
over here.
I'm a little let down that guy let you guys off the hook because going to Truist, it's easy. When you used to go to Turner Field, there was a good chance you might get mugged.
Yeah,
like
but
if
That
you
was
parked
part of the
in-
experience, though.
You had
know
to
what I mean?
you had to work to get to
Like you had to,
Turner Field.
if you had to go under that bridge, there's a good chance you could get stabbed.
You talking about the one the guy played the drums?
And you had to go through all the people like trying to, sell your tickets, the merchandise, all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, the fake merch.
That was
Yeah.
part of the
I liked it,
experience,
though.
man.
That
And
was
you were
part of it.
you were a better person for making it out there alive.
I watched a dude at Turner Field. There was that one guy that was always out there with that tin cup.
Yeah,
The tin
Yeah.
cup. I watched a man reach in that cup and get money out.
When you pass the offering plate, that you
What are
ain't
we
supposed to do
doing?
that.
Like, dude, I
That's
hope,
against
I hope that guy. I don't hope that guy because he's laughed and I don't know, maybe he was, but he deserves things like the guy. Man, anyway,
We were at Turner Field one time, and it was Jason Hayward's. I might have told this story before. I'm going to tell it again because I have a bad memory. But it was Jason Hayward's rookie year, and like he steps in the box. He was left-handed, and I think right. He was.
Yeah,
We
he's
were.
right.
I know we were in right field. I just couldn't remember if he was hitting it opposite field, but we were in right field, like in the first row, watching batting practice. And I tell Savannah, I'm like, "Hey, this kid right here," because he was like when he came up, he was a big
he was
deal.
a prospect.
I was like, "This kid right here, like,
Then
he's
he-
supposed to be the real deal." The next batting practice pitch hits a batting practice home run, literally right at my wife, like to her. And so if Ryan, I wish like we were filming this. So if Ryan's Savannah and I'm sitting here, I do this, catch it out of air, bare hand, with my left hand. Everybody around's like cheering. It's like, "Yeah, there you go." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like 5 minutes later, someone's like, "Where'd you get that ball?" I swear to you, I'm not making this up. I called it
man.
a home run barehanded in front of her face, and she didn't know it.
What's so sad about that is the whole, the people are cheering for you, and she missed that.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like a chance for me to show out in front of my
Yeah.
wife. She would have been impressed.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta sometimes you want them to realize why they married you.
She just said, "What are you supposed to do? Not catch it?"
Man, there's been a lot of times you have saved her life from traveling projectiles.
I saved her from a golf ball that time.
Traveling the speed of light.
I always call it too. Like, so we were playing golf, and I don't know why we did this because it was stupid. We go up like 100 yards into the fairway, and this girl that we were friends with in high school is like 100 yards behind us, and
It's a stinger.
she I probably thought I was out of her range, but she just thins the piss out of it. And right before she swings, I tell Savannah, because like we pull this way, like turn like right, and so Savannah's on the passenger side, like closer to her. And I told Savannah, I said, and I had my arm around her, and I said, "If it comes toward us, you just duck." And I'll be danged if she doesn't thin the piss out of one. It hits it 1,000 miles an hour right at Savannah's head. And I have my arm around her, and I reach around Savannah's head with my right hand, and it hits me right in the palm. and I was
It
like,
like bruised your palm.
dude, yeah,
didn't
it was.
Like,
It
I'm
hurt
sure.
so bad. I got hit by a ball at Double Oaks. So,
you got hit by a ball.
You've been hit by golf balls, bats, like,
dude, this is the second time. So I've told this story today. I literally in my fourth block told kids this story. So I was playing with two other dudes. I'll tell you all their names later. But they were just screwing off, and I got sick of it. And I hit a drive in the middle of the fairway, like the only one I hit in the middle of the fairway the whole day. It was on what used to be 18 at Double Oaks. So if you're in the fairway, you're over that hill. And I go to my ball, and I'm left-handed, so I'm standing, and my body is towards the tee box.
Yeah.
And I hit my shot, and I'm like holding my follow through. And a ball hits me on my upper thigh. And I was like, "What?" And I was so mad.
Which takes us to another story. Your upper thigh is taking a lot of pain.
We've told that one.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, they didn't yell for or anything. They just smacked the piss out of me with a golf
Didn't even
ball.
say nothing.
Didn't say a word, man.
Now, were these the guys
man.
you were playing with?
Yeah. And it's my fault for leaving them, but they were just like screwing off.
And
Like,
you're
what?
like,
I don't
come
want
on.
that. So I hit and just left them.
Because in golf, you usually play in the odds. You're like, what's the chance that somebody
Yeah.
hits a ball right here?
Pretty high.
I mean, those two, the odds of them hitting in the fairway were so low.
So I coached golf this year, and the guy who runs the golf course came up to me one day, and he said, "Hey, I got something to ask you." He said, "I know this wasn't your team that did this, but because you guys weren't here, but if you got somebody hitting bad, can you ask them to move to the left side of the range?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, it sounds like if they're hitting it, shanking it bad, it'd put everybody else in danger. He's like, "Well, we usually put them down there on the right, and there's a hole that wraps around the right side."
Yeah.
And a gentleman took one off the chest yesterday.
I've never been hit.
It's like,
Never been hit with a
okay.
golf ball, but one time Justin Bowen, shout out, butt punched me so hard I thought I'd been shot.
That
Butt punched you?
since
You
you're
remember, that was a thing back in the day.
since you're
Just
shouting
walk
him
up and
out.
punch somebody in the butt.
I don't know.
Dude,
Since-
I don't remember where I was, but I fell to the ground and I was just basically like, "Someone read me my last rites. Get a priest."
Well, since you're shouting him out, that's who hit me with the golf ball.
That's what made me think of it.
So we got.
I mean,
you
then the
gotta
other
clip
person,
this.
he's not gonna mind me saying it was Kyle Smith. He doesn't care. Like he's not
Yeah.
gonna care. But like, yeah, shout out Kyle
So
Smith.
you got to clip
But,
that part, more work for you, and put it on Instagram and put like a big Justin Bowen shout out. That'd be funny, and nobody telling about
Oh man.
it. And somebody said,
Hey, speaking of not telling anybody about anything, I'm gonna tell you about something.
okay.
Okay.
So yesterday, Ben and I came down to your room after school, like we
Did
do.
you move laptops?
We thought we'd pull a prank on you and
You
Miss
did.
Yance.
You did. You got us.
How long did it take y'all to realize?
Yance figured out. Miss Yance figured out pretty quick.
Did
so
she?
When she listens to this, she'll know who did it. I won't tell her till then.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Well, dude, I thought
Big shout out.
So
She's a big fan.
You text me yesterday and asked because we're being displaced for EOC testing. You text me if I asked if I was going to be in your room. So when Jason told me they did that, I was like, dude, he thinks it's me, which I get.
I kind of did, but I
would do
forgot.
that.
But because she said your laptop was on my desk, and my laptop was plugged up to the smart board, and like those laptops are never like She was like, "Did you need my laptop?" I was like, "I don't know. No, like I don't know. Why was my laptop on your desk?" She's like, "I don't know."
Hers had tape on it that said her name.
Yeah.
Did she notice that we took the tape off of hers and put it on yours?
No. Maybe she did.
So
Maybe she
you
did.
need to go
I
look
don't
at your
know.
computer. I bet it still says her name.
That was a good one. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, so I keep getting these reels about snakes, and I don't like them. What's that thing that you want to do to flip over?
Herping.
Herping. Yeah, these guys do herping, and apparently under 10, there's like a lot of snakes. You
Oh
ever
yeah,
seen that?
that's what they flip the most. They call it.
Yeah.
They flip.
Yeah,
the-
10 flippers.
Yeah.
That's what I call them.
Yeah, I'm going. We're going to
Also
go
call
flip
them
it.
idiots. But
They make medicine for that.
no, it's that's different. But it got me thinking, and actually I saw a video of it, and I was like, oh, I totally forgot about the show. Do y'all remember, was it Billy the Exterminator?
Oh man, I watched it like maybe once.
Do y'all
But
remember
yeah,
this guy?
I don't
I
remember.
He kind of looked like Brett Michaels from Poison mixed with Joe Dirt.
Wow, what a
Yeah,
word.
that's
dude.
a
Is
pretty
that-
good. Yeah, yeah.
And he would
Wow.
go, dude, it was like, he would talk about him like he's Steve Irwin, but he's also kind of
Like cockroaches?
it's like snakes. Like snakes were the big thing. Like every once in a while he'd, I don't know, get a possum that was going crazy or something.
yeah.
But a lot of it was snakes.
Yeah.
And he was just like really animated. And he would, it kind of reminds me of those Paranormal Activity show guys. Like that's how he approached it.
Let's
you know
go.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
amping it up way more than it is.
I've never seen a Paranormal Activity show.
Oh,
but
they're good.
they're-
They're so dumb, dude. They're like, hey, did you hear that?
Are you talking about
Yeah.
the movie or the like, spin-off shows on?
No, I'm
Ghost
talking about the shows like Ghost Hunters
okay.
or whatever.
dude, that's crazy.
I know that.
Dude.
Go ahead.
You know what?
I know that bed bugs like body heat.
You learned that from The Office?
Yeah.
Let's get around.
Do we?
Did he walk by all smug like?
So like I'm sports on YouTube TV, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm not watching sports, I'm watching YouTube
Yeah.
almost exclusively. So do we still have like
Same.
shows like Turtle Man. I don't remember what it was called. Or what's the
yeah, I
one
know
where they
something
at the alligator hunter
Swamp People.
Swamp People. Do we still have? Are those still going
I
on?
think so.
Really?
Swamp People's probably on like season.
Well, now
40.
they had where they were hunting the snake
pythons that
right?
got loose in the Everglades. or
They still
whatever.
got some of those.
I'm
shows?
sure. I don't watch that.
Those
crap.
documentaries are crazy about the.
But
It's
dude,
not a documentary.
they're
well, no,
for-
there is a documentary out there about like
just about it happening
in the Everglades, the science, where the
Yeah,
research
yeah.
facility, the hurricane,
The hurricane
came and they
all the
abandoned it,
pythons.
and all the pythons got out. That's
But-
crazy.
but you know, I was kind of watching some of those, and at some point, like, because they were like that kind of thing was a big thing for, and it still may be. I don't know, but for a while, and then I was kind of looking, and I was thinking, I think people around the country are watching this, and they're amused for different reasons. Like I was amused because those were characters, but then I realized like there's some people that's basing the South
Oh yeah, they're
on
like,
this
hey,
show.
y'all want to go
And
watch
they're
what those
not
Georgians
incorrect.
do?
Yeah,
They
like
flip over 10.
yeah.
But
And
wait
they
a
get
minute.
snake
Wait a
bit.
minute. I've been with Ryan in the woods. I've played the thing that they call disc golf. I've been there one time, and I seen Ryan flip over like 20 things looking for snakes.
I
That
do,
is
man.
crazy.
I do. I'd rather find them than them
No,
sneak
I'd
up
rather
on
them
me.
not. Well,
You
you
know?
say they're not going to sneak up on you. They don't want to come
Yeah.
see you.
That's true. They don't. But I don't know. I've only flipped one snake.
Really?
You flipped a whole snake?
Yeah, no. I flipped like a rock, and they say to always put the rocks back. I'm not gonna say I always do that, but because anyway, so I flipped a king snake one time, which honestly in the world of flipping, from
a
what I've
big-
gathered, it's not like the biggest deal, but it's a good one.
Did
Is
you
a king
pick it
snake
up?
the one that like red, yellow, black? One
No,
of those?
no, that's a corn snake.
What is it? Black and yellow.
Well,
kill
there-
a fella.
Yeah, but there is something called a.
Wait, black and yellow. You're okay, fella.
Oh shoot, I can't remember. I can't think of the
Those are
name.
you need
But
to know what it is.
there
like
black
is
and red. You're dead.
no. It's red touches yellow, you're a dead fellow. Red touches black, you're okay, Jack.
wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
This was
I'll
my
never
solution.
remember that. I don't want to
Yeah,
get that close to
My
have to make that
solution to him
distinction.
was kill it.
Kill it. That's right.
There is a king snake that is red though. I can't
Really?
I can't think of
Are they
it. off
black?
my-
They're black with like a yellow line down them. Is that a king
So
snake?
what's your view
No.
on the if you got one around the house, just keep him, let him kill the rats?
They
Yeah,
say
yeah.
black snake.
Y'all
If
good
it's
with that?
not poisonous, I don't say kill. Even honestly, like if you get one in your house or in like your basement, not your house. Like let's say you get a snake. Like I get that, kill that one. Well, honestly, there's no real reason to kill.
Yes, there is. It'll
There's
bite
not.
you.
Dude, I'm telling you, most snake bites are from people trying to kill them.
Dude,
they're
you're-
very docile.
Dude, you've said this 80 times
I
on
know,
podcast,
it's
and I don't
true.
believe you.
It's true, dude. If I'm telling you, if snakes were not, and everybody talks about copperheads,
Yeah, I know. You put your daughter down.
dude, she was right beside it.
Because she wasn't a threat.
Yes, she was. Like my daughter's big relative to a little
Dude,
copperhead.
I'm just saying, if you got one in your house, you should call Billy the Exterminator.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
we
true. Don't
settle-
try to kill it yourself because you'll probably get bit.
Can we
If
settle
I-
a dispute?
If I have a snake in my house, I'm done.
How are you going about it?
I'm leaving.
Forever?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Because I don't know how it got in, and I don't want to. No.
that's the softest thing I've ever heard you say.
Okay. Well, when you're a dead fellow,
Well, I won't be because I know when red touches yellow, you don't get around
but you're
it.
like, hey, just leave the copperheads alone. They're fine.
I'm just-
So, how can you be so afraid of a bat but not a snake in your
dude,
house?
bats have rabies.
Snakes have venom.
Yeah, venom is not.
Dude, no.
Also, you don't. I know this. Bats can land on you, and you not even like they can put their claw things, and you really not know it, and you can track rabies that way.
Well,
and you not know it.
They
'cause
have
it's so
runs
small.
for the cure, so that's a good thing.
And
Dude,
yeah,
All
dude,
you have to do is go for those 19 rounds of shots in the belly.
yeah, that's not as. That's better.
12.
I mean, that's worse.
Talking about bats.
1923? Yeah.
Talking about bats putting their like.
Nice.
You call them claws.
I don't
It's
know.
weird.
I'm not sure
But
what they are.
Talons?
Did you know that like owls like attack bald people? It's a thing.
No.
Yeah.
I-
Like that because they see their heads. And
Be
like, I don't know
careful,
what-
What do they think it is?
I don't know. But like there was like a
The
murder
shiny
case a
rock.
few years ago where like that, like,
Yeah, but that was a woman.
yeah, but
The staircase.
yeah,
Oh,
but,
yeah,
Yeah.
but then I Googled that and then it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, they like favor like bald dudes. So that's like,
really?
yeah, kind of, I'm always
Well,
looking
they-
over my shoulder for owls, which owls are creepy anyways. They're
So I have several hawks living around my house, and I always wonder, are they going to try to attack my baby?
No, not your baby.
You don't think so?
If you had a
Like,
small dog, definitely.
There was an incident. One of my there was
Do
an
you,
incident
do you
where
know how to say words?
well, I didn't want to call this person out, but who they
One of
run
your
a farm
friends.
and a bald eagle tried to like get a calf
a cat, a whole
in
that
calf?
Banks County. In
That was a
Banks County.
dumb bald eagle.
In what county?
Banks County.
We have
Bald
bald
eagles.
eagles?
Dude, oh, we were just talking about
They
this last
had a
We
week.
don't
video.
have bald eagles.
Yes,
have
we
bald
do.
eagles.
Bald eagles are like on the
they
rise
really
again.
came back. They're not
Oh, are
even
they?
they're not even endangered anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's made a real.
There's a
comeback.
bunch of them at
Like
the
when we were
lakes.
kids, it was like
Oh yeah, you like if you saw a bald eagle, it was a big deal.
So here's an article on Yahoo from 2016. So it's been a minute. Bald men beware! An eagle owl has been attacking your kind.
Your kind.
Your kind.
Oh man, that's pretty
It
good.
says it mistook his head for an egg, like
For
an,
an egg?
Oh,
like,
an egg.
like a dinosaur egg.
What are they doing?
The owl's like, I've heard stories about these.
I read a Yahoo article.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Y'all remember that story in the Bible in the Old Testament about the kids making fun of the bald prophet, and the she bears come and kill the bears come and kill those children?
No.
Yeah, that's in the Bible. It's a great story.
Dang.
Look it up.
How have I not heard that? That's crazy.
So people have been making fun of bald people forever.
forever for a long time.
But be careful, eagle or bear.
Yeah.
Could get you.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah. Sorry, Mitch.
Are we just naming all the bald people?
Yeah.
That we've made fun of.
So I have a new thing on YouTube. Speaking of watching YouTube, that I've got like watching, and I enjoy it, and I'm kind of ashamed of it, but I want to share it.
Okay.
It's called
Crochet?
Should I open it or should I keep it sealed? You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
This
No.
guy gets Pokemon packs of cards
Oh my
from
God.
like, and then he opens them. They're like, 20, 30 years old, and see if he makes any money. And golly, I love watching it.
Can we? This is. I had a Geartogram. I don't remember what it was,
Why?
but I got a new one now.
Well, what is it about, Chris?
Yeah, it's about the topic.
I guess what I like watching is I think if way back in the day when we were kids, if we would have bought Pokemon packs and just kept them.
I don't know.
Yeah, but why?
I think that I'd just rather have my dignity, to be honest.
I mean, they're
Thank you.
worth
That's what I was about.
they're
Can
worth
we
like $300-$400 a pack right now.
can we bring back like dads saying like
Don't. I'm not buying you.
we're
that.
not.
That's
I'm
dumb.
not spending money on that. That's stupid. Can we bring that back?
I do it.
I do too. I just don't hear about it as much.
And it's
you
been
know?
about Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Now especially. I'm
you know
like,
something
look,
that this like that, but not an item that my dad. You remember when you were kids and like the Boy Scout? And I'm not knocking Boy, but like Boy Scouts would come talk to you and be like, "We go camping every weekend," and I go home,
Yeah.
my dad would be like, "They're lying. You're not doing that. It's a waste of money."
Yeah.
And I would,
Yeah.
and I would always be so mad
Man, because they give me a Walt
Yeah,
Weiss
dude.
baseball card,
Yeah.
and I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Dude, I'm trying to remember something that wasn't a waste of money with my dad. Like, it's like, no, we ain't doing that.
Like, what did he let me buy?
Yeah.
Dad, can I go to this really expensive church camp? Nope. I'll teach you everything you need to know.
Let's go.
Shoot. We got to go to VBS, and that was our vacation. We literally vacation
was-
for us.
that's
man.
every VBS, like I went to like multiple ones. Like did y'all
5
do
of
that?
summer.
Like
Yeah.
churches that weren't
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I hated them jokers too. I hated
You don't
every
know none of the
second of it.
people?
Yeah, dude. You just
Man.
got, and then they talk to you like for 30. Back then they talk to you for like 30 minutes about, oh yeah, you're Bobby and Sheila's, and then they go through your whole family, and you're like, I know my family.
I don't know you.
Dude, VBS was just like going to school for me. Like we'd go to like class, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. And then we go to
Yeah.
arts and crafts, like I don't want to be here.
Yeah,
And then we go
dude.
like to the games, and I would
Yeah.
dominate like
Dominate.
a three-legged
Let's go.
a three-legged race with my buddy,
Yeah,
and I would have the time of my life. But other than that,
I
was
think I got saved like 1,700 times. Every time they were like, if you don't want to go to hell, throw your stick in the fire. I throw my stick in every time.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they give you like I mean, when you give a 5-year-old a choice, like, hey, do you love the Lord or are you gonna burn for eternity? Like,
and then I want to know how many churches have celebrated my salvation. 15 years before it happened.
Chris is racking up the numbers for the kingdom of the Lord.
SBC has counted me in salvation like 400 times. Don't tell me them numbers aren't inflated.
Oh man,
we got more salvations than we got people.
I used to go to church with a guy who tells us, I love this guy. He's a dear friend of mine. And every Sunday when the preacher would say the sinner's prayer, he'd raise his hand. Yeah. So for the first 10 weeks, they were like, this is a pretty large church. Yeah. They were like, so-and-so got saved today. And they'd just be all excited. Next week, so-and-so got, I'm like, wait a minute, y'all, that was the same. For like 10 weeks until they finally got it. They were like, dude, what's your deal? Man. He's like, well, I don't ever want to pass up Jesus. Like, I mean, I don't want to ever say no. I'm going to raise my hand every time. I was like, that guy, this is my guy.
Hey, come to Pentecostal church. We'll show you.
Okay.
All right.
I saw a video of a guy getting bit by a rattlesnake.
I need some.
That's why they didn't have worship. They let the guy didn't get to preach. He got bit.
And this guy is one of those,
he was
handlers.
pulling up 10.
He's got the snake, and he's yelling about whatever. And the snake bit him at some point. I watched it 17 times trying to look for it, and then it just zooms in. And he's got this blood just all over his shoulder from this rattlesnake. And then he's like vomiting, and they're taking him out of there. And he's like, "It's okay, I'm protected." I'm like, that's not like God doesn't just protect you from being an idiot.
Yeah, that's right.
If you want to, if you ever desire to talk about snakes, you just say the word Pentecostal. I guarantee you, snakes will come up in the next statement.
But you know what's funny about that? I think most of those crazy snake handling people are Baptists, actually.
Really?
Weird independent Baptists.
Well, then why do we get?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They're actually, but they're not Pentecostal. I'm pretty sure they're crazy independent Baptists.
I don't know. I
don't either.
I don't even want to research it. I'll get too many videos.
They drink poison too.
Dude, I'm having trouble sleeping at night.
Which you know what's funny about that? So
nothing?
They take
what's funny about drinking poison?
Let me tell you what's funny about that. They take that from the end of Mark. Mark has but in almost
I thought they took it from Jamestown or whatever it's called. I was talking about the guy drinking the Kool-Aid. What did he call it? What did he call it?
Joel.
So
did they get that
here's
from,
the funny part.
Jonestown? Did they get that from Jonestown?
No.
Yes.
The Kool-Aid drinking
Sure.
thing?
It wasn't actually Kool-Aid.
But so
It was like Flavor Aid or something. It was off brand.
So
Sugar-Aid.
What they take that from is an alternate ending to the end of Mark, which all the good translations don't have in it. I mean, like
an alternate ending?
Yeah, so the
a different
end of
translation?
Mark, yeah,
or like a whole added.
To be the technical,
like the director's cut.
Yeah.
It is the Alexandrian text. The best Bible transcripts does not have that in it. So all these people are going to get to heaven and be like, "We were following you, Lord, handling snakes and drinking poison." He's going to be like, "That wasn't even in the Bible, crazy."
Don't know why you did that.
Doing that.
At least they're going to heaven, baby. Hey, we getting there, brother.
Man.
That's what's funny about it.
They're getting there.
I was going to say, he said we. So.
We're not. Yep, we're not. We're not those.
All right, everybody. That's all we got today. Thanks for listening. The whole gang's back together. I haven't looked to do the math to see how long it's been since that happened, but we're glad you're here. Subscribe, like, listen, all that good stuff. Share it with your friends. And remember,
it's better to be a has-been than it never was.
Ben still thinks he could beat a black bear in a fight, but he's now afraid of owls. See you next week.
We're going to have to cut it because we don't know.
That's got to get cut, man.
Now, if you text me and say take that out, I'm going to be upset. So.
I'm not.
I think that you should.
That'll make a great podcast.
I said enough yesterday. So
oh, man.
Yeah, you got to cut that.
That's good.
They're getting paid, so what's it matter?
But they don't get the same attention that.
Who cares? Because they're not as good to me.
Yeah.
That's how you get more attention when you're a professional.
I saw
on Wednesday between the hours of 12 and 4 Central. You know? Am I right?
Oh, that's so true.
They're so specific.
that
They're like,
is,
if you want to
man.
drive all the way to Blairsville tonight,
To get a free
you can get a
milkshake.
free milkshake if you buy a meal. That's at least $10.
Man.
That's a one person. That's two. Oh man, that was a good pop though for that joke. That was pretty good.
That
wasn't
was money. Just say it like it's kind of like.
it? I don't know what that noise was.
Like sticking it to the man a little bit, like. Hey, man of the hour. Been waiting on you, baby.